Have you ever felt like the world is against you? Like no matter what you do, you're stuck while everyone else seems to be zooming past you on the highway to success? That was Jake Collins's life. At 28, he was drowning in frustration, bouncing between dead-end jobs and living paycheck to paycheck. Every night, he'd scroll through social media, seeing friends hit milestones he felt he deserved, and he'd mutter, "If only life were fair." It wasn't that Jake lacked talent. He was smart and a quick learner. But he had a critical weakness. He never took responsibility. Every problem had an excuse. My boss doesn't get me. The economy's terrible. I just don't have the right connections. He was a master at pointing fingers, but a novice at looking in the mirror. Then came the morning that changed everything. On his way to another day he dreaded, his car broke down. As he sat there, fuming, his mind went to its usual place. Great. Just another example of how nothing ever goes my way. He ran into his neighbor, Mr. Harrison, a retired businessman. Mr. Harrison had heard Jake's complaints for years. This time he stopped and said something that cut through all the noise. We not failing because of the world. Jake, you're failing because you refuse to take responsibility for your own life. Jake scoffed, easy for you to say. But Mr. Harrison shook his head. I failed more times than I succeeded. The difference is, I own my mistakes. Every single one. You want your life to change? Start by looking in the mirror and admitting your part in your problems. For the first time, Jake didn't have a comeback. The words echoed in his mind all day. Take responsibility. Own your mistakes. Stop blaming the world. That evening, he decided to make a change. Instead of calling a tow truck, he grabbed his laptop, watched online tutorials, and spent hours figuring out what was wrong with his car. He diagnosed the issue, replaced a couple of parts, and incredibly, the engine roared back to life. It wasn't perfect, but it was his victory. He felt a surge of accomplishment he hadn't experienced in years. This small win sparked a fire. Jake applied this new mindset to every part of his life. He finally faced his finances, tracking every dollar and creating a budget. It was tough, but seeing his debt shrink was empowering. At work, he stopped complaining and started volunteering for tough projects. When he made a mistake, he owned it, apologized, and focused on finding a solution. His colleagues were surprised at first, but soon, respect grew. Even his boss started to see him in a new light. He mended his strained relationship with his sister by apologizing for his past carelessness and truly listening. He stopped blaming his poor health on genetics and started waking up earlier to exercise and cook healthy meals. Within months, he was a different person, more energetic, more focused, and filled with a quiet self-respect. The biggest transformation, however, was internal. Jake realized that taking responsibility wasn't a burden. It was the key to unlocking his own power. He was no longer a victim of his circumstances. He was the architect of his future. Failure wasn't something to fear anymore. It was a lesson, a stepping stone. Months later, Jake got a promotion. But what he'd really earned was a deep, unshakable confidence. He had discovered that the simple act of taking ownership could transform everything: his career, his relationships, his health, and his entire outlook on life. He started sharing his story, not as a lecture, but as a testament to what's possible. He'd tell people, you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. Own your choices, face your mistakes, and take responsibility. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Looking back, it all started with a broken-down car and a neighbor's blunt advice. From that moment, Jake learned that the second you stop blaming the world and take full responsibility for your life, you gain the power to change it. And with that power, you become unstoppable. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build your best life.